Let's do a Booktube Newbie tag. Question number 1. Why did I start a Booktube channel? So, just like everyone else, I feel like I started a Booktube channel so I can have a space where I can talk about books, I can be excited about books, and to find the community that kind of has that same passion with me. I know, just like probably everyone in the community, I have friends and family, of course. I talk to them about my books, but none of them really read or have the same passion with books the way I do. So I think you know what I mean when you're really excited about something and you kind of tell your friends and they kind of go, okay, they don't share that same excitement or the same frustration that you do. So hopefully, starting this community, I can have an outlet, and I'm pretty sure my partner is so sick of me talking about my books. So I think having this channel gives me an outlet of where I can share my views and opinions, and hopefully you have the same opinions and you enjoy the book the same way that I do. Question number 2. What are some fun and unique things I can bring to Booktube? I bring me, whatever me means, because no one can be better. I know it sounds so cliche, but no one can be a better me, if that makes sense, but me. I confused myself there, but bear with me. So question number 3, what am I excited about Booktube? So as I've mentioned earlier, I'm very excited to find a community in Booktube who has the same passion and share the same love for books the way that I do. Because if you do love books, you understand what I mean. When you find that person or community who loves books the way you do and they just get it, it's a good feeling. So that's what I'm most excited about being on Booktube. So question number 4, why do I love reading? I must say my imagination is very wild, so I think reading gives me that outlet to focus it a bit more. So when I'm reading, I actually stop and kind of think in my head, oh, this scene, how will this play out in reality? Reading gives me that space where it can just flow. I love reading because of the limitless possibilities that you can be, whether it be if you're reading a fantasy or if you're reading a little bit of a light-hearted young adult. It gives you that feeling that sometimes you just need. It transports you to a place that it's very hard to describe, being into a different sort of reality where it's not the reality that we have. Question 5, what series got me into reading? I remember when I was young, but I was reading some Nancy Drew books, and I think being in that young age, following this character who was solving some mysteries, but even the mysteries that were being solved wasn't even actually that big of a deal. It just thrilled me, so that what sparked my reading. I did have a little bit of hiatus in reading, so I didn't read for a while. During my teen years, I think what started my passion in reading again is The Lorien Legacies by Pittacus Lore. Question 6, what question would I ask my favourite booktuber? Want a collab? No, seriously, how do you make your library or your book collection look pristine? Because I try to make it pretty, but it just doesn't look pretty. Well, I think for me anyway, watching other booktubers and when they show their library, I'm just amazed because mine just looks like a library. You know, your typical library, that's what it looks like. Question 7, what challenges do I think will be hardest when it comes to Booktube? I think one of the hardest challenges would be actually documenting and talking to the camera. I think it does take a little bit of time to get used to talking and for me to seem natural, but as if I was just talking to a friend. So I think with practice, hopefully that should come. One of the other challenges that I find probably will be, I'm a very passionate person. So I do tend to get an inkling to be a little bit competitive. And then when you see all these booktubers saying, oh, I've read 50 books in a month, I will think to myself, I need to read 50 books. So I don't want that joy of reading to be gone because my competitive nature kicks in. So it's not really a challenge for Booktube, but a challenge for my Booktube for me. Question 8, when did I start reading? As I mentioned, I was reading the Nancy Drew when I was little. I think I must have started reading when I was about 8. So that's when I started reading. I mean, I was a very slow reader then, but I loved it. Question 9, where do I read? I read everywhere. Wherever I can read, I read. In terms of where do I physically read, where is my favorite spot to read, I have 3 favorite spots. 2 of them are downstairs. I can't show you at the moment because our floor is getting renovated, so it's a mess. So once that's done, I'll show you my 2 favorite nooks, so it's kind of my spot. Question 10. What kind of books do I read? I read a lot of sci-fi fantasy. I also read a lot of YA. So with my YA choices, I don't have a particular genre, so I read anything YA because YA is such an easy read. I don't particularly tend to stick to a genre. I would like to read a bit more crime thriller horror genre, so if you do have some recommendations, any good books that you think, oh, that would kick me into the world of crime thriller horror, please let me know, as I would like to expand my reading genre, like in general, the type of books that I read. And that is my Booktube Newbie tag. See you next time. Bye.